wrath. So, is it a smart or reckless move? That is the question. On just most recently, we've seen Jaswant Rai, who was abducted, and the people close to him actually say that he is not speaking to anyone. Like, he's not saying anything about what really happened. It was broad daylight abduction, but of course, now Kenyans are questioning the Mambo ni Matatu. If you've not heard of Mambo ni Matatu, I don't know if we can find it. We can find it in just a bit.
Yeah.
But the President William Ruto is a man on a mission to deliver on his promises, and the big question is on reviving the sugar sector and fighting all these cartels. And of course, the sugar sector has been ailing for quite some time. Just the past 2 days, we've been talking about Nzoia Sugar, Butali Sugar, Chemelil. The sugar belt has actually really suffered, including Mumias Sugar.
Yeah. Here's the clip of President William Ruto speaking about sugar cartels.
Kama wewe ni mwizi ya ng'ombe, mambo ni matatu. Uhame Kenya, uende jela, ama usafiri uende mbinguni. Hakuna maneno mengine.
Yeah, so that statement was found to be
It's actually
quite
used twice.
controversial, yeah.
Yeah, one statement was used when he was talking about cattle rustlers, and most recently he talked about the sugar cartels.
Yeah. So the LSK came out to ask the president to withdraw his remarks. It says, we're setting ourselves up for suspending the constitution, in short. LSK said, what that sounds like, we're suspending the constitution, and it's a returning the country to the dark days of repression. The group said the warning comes at the backdrop of a growing culture of impunity by the executive, in a chilling indication of the government that can undermine the authority of other arms of government. Of our government being, of course, parliament and the judiciary, especially the judiciary in this case. Of course, the backstory is that Jaswant Singh Rai was a creditor of Mumias Sugar. He bought the debt, right? And he was pushing a case in court to have this creditors paid and Mumias be dissolved and declared insolvent so that creditors can be paid.
Yes.
Then he was abducted and people don't know what happened. He was released unharmed. He hasn't spoken since.
Yeah.
Someone else who was also questioned by DCI is the Victoria Commercial Bank CEO, who is Mr. Yogesh Patni. He was summoned by DCI for questioning about the bank's role in buying Mumia's sugar debt and its link to Mr. Rai. So there's a lot of interesting things happening. It'll be good to see how this develops. But again, the LSK has a great point in that these are very heavy statements to be coming from a president.
Yes, and
scary
of course,
as well.
Yeah, one other statement that actually caught people's attention is when our president says, "Don't worry, I am on top of things. No one is going to speak a lot of English to us here, whether an Indian or whoever. That is not possible." Some people tell me about Rai. Who is Rai? The president asked. This is on the big question about Mumias and it being property that should actually be salvaged from what is actually going on. We've known Mumias to be such a giant when it comes to production of sugar and other things that come as a result of sugar. The farmers in the western area region are actually really suffering. And you could hear what Senator Boni Khalole was talking about. People don't understand how significant Mumias sugar has been to the western region.
Yeah.
It's actually taken people to schools. People have actually gotten jobs. We've had an opportunity to just have a crop. For the farmers, it was such a reprieve because you knew that your sugarcane would actually be taken in and actually push an entire economy. So, and even the logistics companies that were operating around the area were also really affected. So it's something that we need to put on the table and actually talk about it. But what I'm not really happy is about the statement our president is using. He needs to know that he's a symbol of national unity and people are actually looking at him. And it's very easy for Kenyans to politicize statements. Lakini pale Twitter, hata kwa relationships, sahii tunaambiwa mambo ni matatu.
My takeaway is this. Here's the thing. Even with the best of intentions, which politicians are rarely moving with,
Yes.
the constitution must still apply, right? There's the rule of law, there's procedure. At the very least, that's what we should look forward to. We got some Halsey with Without Me coming your way, Kygo Griffin, Callum Scott with Woke Up in Love. Of course, when we come back, we'll take one final look at the papers and some international news as well. Like I said, major weather events going on around the world. #blessed,
Also stand by for traffic.